Hey everyone, welcome to Alpha Insights. I'm Mark. Glad you could join us this weekend. Quick heads up, markets are closed right now since it's Saturday, and the last trading day was as of Friday, June 5th. And hey, if you have questions while you're listening, drop them at stockalpha.ai.
And I'm Archer. Great to be here. We've got a lot to unpack in the cannabis space: policy, state budgets, and some courtroom drama. So let's get into it.
All right, the headlines are a bit mixed. On one hand, you have signs of mainstream acceptance. The WNBA removed marijuana from its banned substances list. And on the other hand, you've got fresh legal and legislative pushback that could restrict access or reimbursement.
Exactly. And to add to that, there's a federal pilot program tied to Medicare that would cover hemp-derived products up to $500 a year for eligible beneficiaries. But that program is being challenged in court.
Yeah, that legal fight matters a lot because it's not just about headlines. If a court blocks the pilot, that would slow any immediate institutional demand the program might have generated. And then there's the WNBA move. It's interesting because it signals cultural shifts that often come before bigger commercial adoption. Still, it's not like sales spike overnight.
Right. Cultural acceptance can loosen stigma, which helps demand over time. But policy and reimbursement are the levers that change scale. That's where the court cases and congressional votes come in.
Speaking of Congress, a House Appropriations Subcommittee voted 11-7 to bar federal workers' compensation programs from covering medical marijuana for federal employees. That shows rescheduling didn't wipe away legislative caution.
Exactly. Rescheduling to Schedule 3 changes some things, but it doesn't settle all the questions about workplace coverage or federal benefits. Analysts note you should expect more skirmishes as agencies and lawmakers define the rules.
And on the state side, Virginia could move faster than people expect. Lawmakers and the governor are discussing a budget route to legalize recreational sales, which could happen quickly if it's put into an appropriations package.
That's the classic budget shortcut. Watch the calendar. If it lands in a budget bill, timing becomes compressed, and voters don't get the same debate they would in a standalone bill. It's a real policy risk and opportunity, depending on what happens.
Then there's a practical revenue signal out of Michigan. The new wholesale tax is 24%, and lawmakers had expected about $420 million. The first quarter came in far below that estimate, which matters for state budgets and for retail economics.
That shortfall can push states to reevaluate tax rates, enforcement, or licensing. For companies that operate in those markets, changes to tax policy can hit margins and growth forecasts. Data suggests we shouldn't assume state revenue will match early models.
And don't forget the patient-side work. Americans for Safe Access put out a guide clarifying rights after rescheduling, which could reduce friction for medical use and help providers and caregivers understand compliance.
That kind of clarity is important. It doesn't resolve reimbursement by itself, but it can smooth patient access and lower administrative headaches for clinics and pharmacies.
One other angle, psychedelics. There's commentary warning that commercial capital could crowd out patient-focused models in psychedelics. A good reminder that adjacent opportunities bring their own political and ethical risks.
Absolutely. Commercialization isn't automatically aligned with clinical or patient priorities. Watch for M&A and capital raises that could shift attention and resources away from cannabis.
Quick reactions. Watch list. Appeals court activity on the Medicare hemp coverage lawsuit. Any interim guidance from agencies on that $500 benefit. Virginia budget deadlines and state tax receipts. Michigan first among them.
And for market sensitivity, keep an eye on US-focused cannabis ETFs and major growers and retailers like Trulieve, Green Thumb Industries, Curaleaf, and Tilray. Volume and headlines move those names around earnings, votes, and court rulings.
The bottom line for listeners: policy momentum and mainstream acceptance are real, but legal and legislative pushback keeps the picture mixed. Analysts recommend selective, cautious exposure rather than blanket bets, given the busy legal calendar.
Right. And to be clear, we're sharing analysis and context, not personal investment advice. This is informational only. There are complex legal and political variables at play that can change quickly.
Okay, let's wrap. Quick takeaways. 1. Cultural signals like the WNBA move matter but are gradual. 2. The Medicare hemp pilot and the workers' comp vote are high-impact policy events to watch. 3. State fiscal surprises, like Michigan's shortfall, can change the economics on the ground.
And remember, appeals court developments, Virginia's budget process, and any congressional floor action could all move the needle. Stay alert to legal rulings and budget timelines.
Got questions? We'd love to hear them. Head over to stockalpha.ai, where you can ask us anything and we'll answer live. And while you're there, check out more market content in our Q&A feature.
Thanks for listening. We'll be back after the markets reopen. Take care and keep an eye on those policy headlines.